Go ahead and come to all fours on your mat. Have your knees right underneath your hips. And then think about the crown of your head growing long in opposition from the crown of your head. And then from here, think about lengthening your spine up towards the ceiling, tucking the tailbone under, drawing your ribs towards your hips, and letting your head fall. And still think about that distance between the crown of your head and your tailbone now being even longer. And then uncurl your spine one vertebrae at a time. Find that length across the front of your body. Think about pulling the heels of your hands back towards your hips. And then again, round the spine up towards your ceiling. And back down. And find that length across the front of your chest. Think about externally rotating your arms as you push the floor away. And then last time, round your spine up towards the ceiling. Sorry, if I randomly swatted something, there's about a million kilos. And then untuck your pelvis. Think about widening your sitting bones and finding lift. And then keep your sitting bones wide. And then reach them back behind you. And reach your hands in front of you. And then just melt your chest down towards the floor. And take a breath here. You can keep your arms nice and straight, pressing into the floor. Your knees can be a little wider than your hips if that feels good. And then just take a nice big inhale and then exhale. Try to melt down towards the floor a little bit more, especially through that mid-back. Think about the area between your shoulder blades. Just relaxing. And then walk your hands up and over towards the right. And then press your hips towards the left. As you press your hands away from you into the floor, getting a nice stretch through that left side. And then come up and turn towards the right. And same thing, press your hands into the floor and then send your hips over in the opposite direction. Breathing into that side. And then coming back up to all fours. From here, you're going to bring your left hand behind your head. And you're just going to rotate yourself over towards the right. Bring your left elbow down towards your wrist. And then press through that right hand, rotate, and open up towards the left, elbow towards the ceiling if you can. And then back down. And then press the floor away on that right side as you twist. And then rotate back to the right. One more time like this. And then find yourself in a nice single arm all fours position here. You're going to grab onto your weight with your left hand. And you're just going to bring that hand towards the floor. And then bring your weight up towards your hip. So your elbow is above your side. And then you're just going to bring it back down towards your hand. Still staying in this all fours position. Just gently bring that arm up and then back down. Starting to find that activation of your back. Sliding your shoulder blade gently in towards your spine. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. You're going to leave it lifted. And then you're going to straighten your arm all the way. Hand will lift above your hip. And then bend at the elbow just to that 90-degree angle. And then press back again behind you. And then bend and straighten. You can think that someone is holding your upper arm in place. And then you're pressing your pinky side of your hand up towards the ceiling. Your wrist stays nice and strong. 2 more. And last one. And then lower that arm all the way down towards the floor. Just leave that weight off to your right side. Bring your hand behind your head. Right hand behind your head this time. And then rotate over towards the right. Reaching that left or right elbow now towards your left wrist. And then press and rotate up and away. And then back down and rotate. Think about opening up your chest. And back down. 2 more. Moving at whatever pace feels good for you. Last one. And up. And then bring your hand down to that weight now in your right hand. And from here, you're just going to lift that arm up, elbow above your torso, and hitting the microphone. And then your elbow is above your hip, weight by your hip. Lower that arm back down, and then pull it back up. keeping the rest of your body nice and stable. Pull up. Again, find that slide in of that shoulder blade as you lift and back down. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. You're going to leave that arm up and then extending the arm from the elbow. Bend in and extend. Your neck should be nice and long. Your head shouldn't have dropped, but you also shouldn't be looking all the way forward. Gaze is just down at your mat. And extend for 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then bring that arm down underneath you, bring the weight down, and then you can sit back onto your knees. If you need to fold your mat in half, go for it. You are going to grab both knees. I'm going to fold my mat for this. All right, so folding your mat in half, coming up onto a high kneeling position, and your weights are just going to be down by your side. From here, you're just going to lift your right arm up and out to the side, just in line with your torso. And you're slowly going to lower it back down. Staying on that right side, lift it straight up and back down. You can have a soft bend in the elbow. The hand stays below your shoulder. And down. And back up. And down. 4 more. 3, hips are gently tucked under. 2. Last one. And lower that arm all the way down, switching over to the left side, floating that arm up and resist back down. If at any point this is too much for balance-wise, you would like to sit down and do this from here in a low kneeling position, go for it. You can always drop your weight and just move your arm without a weight. That's plenty hard sometimes. Good. Again, feel that gentle slide in of the shoulder blade towards the spine. 2. And last one. And then from here, you're going to lift your right arm straight out in front of you and lower it back down. And then lift your right arm and lower. 4 more. This time, as you're lifting, make sure that your weight isn't coming back. You're just moving from that shoulder and down. 2 more. And last one. And lower all the way down to the left and lower. Thinking about your breath supporting the movement of your arm. You're initiating your breath before you're starting your movement. 3, 2, and last one. Good. From here, you're going to bring your left leg out in front of you. Your left arm is going to stay down by your side. Tuck your tailbone under, and then from here, you're going to lift your arm straight up in front of you. Open it out to the left, or to the right rather, and then put it down by your side. And then lift it up to the side, and then resist to bring it back to the center and lower down. And up, and over, and lower. 2 more just like this, and forward, and lower. Last one, and lower. From here, tuck your toes under on that back leg, and then you're going to come all the way up to a nice staggered lunge position here. And you are going to bend your knees as you open that arm up to the right, and then lengthen your legs as you lower it down, and then switch and bring it in front of you, and down, to the right, and down. Think about your legs bending at a 90-degree angle, more or less, especially on that back leg. The hips are tucked under, and you're staying nice and tall as you go down, and down. 2 more. 1 more time to the right, and up. Last one to the left, and then all the way down. And then from here, you're going to come back down onto the ground. Bring your right foot forward now. Your weight will be, just turn around, sorry. Your weight will be in your left hand, right hand by your side. Tuck your tailbone under gently here. Bring your arms straight out in front of you. Open it out to the side, and lower. And lift. and resist and lower. 4 more. Going nice and slowly here. Really resisting as you bring the weight down. And last time, back towards your hip and down. Tuck those back toes under. Find yourself in a nice split stance position here. And as you come down, your arm's going to go out to the left and then up and straight in front of you. And up. Out to the side and up and forward. You can go nice and slow, or you can pick up the pace a little. Do whatever feels better for you. I'm going to go nice and slowly. Make sure your feet aren't super narrow, that you have a bit of a base of support. 2 more. Last one to each side, or each direction rather. And then coming all the way up. And then you can come all the way down onto your back. Bring your weights with you. And you're going to have your feet just on the floor, weights on either side of you, and then just bring your hands behind your head. Take a second here with your hands behind your head to bring your feet wide, about as wide as your mat, and let them fall over to the right. And then just take a second here to enjoy this nice little stretch. And then bring them up and over to the left. Same thing, take a second for this stretch. All right, and then back with your feet in hip distance, hands behind your head. Press your head into your hands. Find that width across your back and your chest by thinking about reaching your elbows long and up, almost like on a 45-degree angle. And then curl the head, neck, and shoulders up, ribs towards your hips. Head is heavy in your hands. Your chin is not jutting forward. And slowly lower back down. Same thing, curling up and back down. And up. And back down. 3 more. Trying to get those shoulder blades off the mat if you can. 2. And last one. Good. And then lower all the way down. From here, bring your right leg into tabletop and grab onto the weight with your left hand. Your right leg can stay, or left leg rather, can stay on the floor. You're just going to extend your right leg, left arm, and then resist to bring them back. So that weight is going up overhead only so far that it's comfortable, and your ribs are staying down and connected to the mat on the back. Your back ribs are connected to the mat. And then extend and resist. 5 more. Thinking about just opening up through the back of that leg. A nice smooth motion. 3, 2, and last one. And then from here, you're going to bend your elbow by your side. And then you're going to lower your leg down as you lift your arm up, and then resist your arm down as you bring your leg up. And tap your toe to the floor and bring it back up. And extend the arm, tap the toe, and then pull the arm back. 4 more. 3, 2, head is heavy on the floor. Last one. Good, and then lower that right leg down, left arm down, switching sides. So left arm, or right arm, left leg. Hand starts right over your shoulder with that weight, and then extend your arm and leg. Keep those ribs down, and then resist to bring it back. Think about your arm moving from your torso rather than the weight just pulling your arm back. Think about having a little bit more control over that weight and feeling your back working as well. To do that, you can bring your left hand over towards your lat underneath your armpit and think about resisting from there as you bring your arm overhead and back up. If you need a little tactile cue for yourself, 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Bend that elbow down towards the floor. Tap the toe as you extend the arm and then resist it back up. Keeping your weight heavy in both hips, nice and square. You've not put all the weight in that left hip. That right hip is not coming off the ground. I got mixed up. Going up, thinking about pressing through the ceiling. 2 more. Last one. And then bring your right leg into tabletop to meet your left and have your left arm come to the floor with your weights. Glue your legs together as if you only have one. Press both arms up towards the ceiling. You're going to tap your toes down towards the floor. If they don't reach the floor, that's fine. And then pull your elbows down towards the ground as you bring your arms up. So arms up towards the ceiling as you lower your legs down. And then resist those arms back to the floor as you resist your bringing your legs in. And up with the arms, up with the legs. Pressing down with the legs, resist back up. If you'd like, you can curl your head, neck, and shoulders up off the floor, coming into a nice abdominal curl here, but not necessary. There's no reason you won't get a great workout or great range of motion and all of that from leaving your head down. 3 more. We will raise our head up in a moment. 2. Last one. Good. Pause with your legs in tabletop. Bring them all the way in. And then bring your legs up, or rather arms up towards the ceiling. Legs are all the way in by your body. They're nice and relaxed. They're not doing much. Obviously your abs are still working here, but you're not in a tabletop position. Shoulders right over, or weights right over your shoulders. And then you're just going to soften your elbows and bring your arms out to the side to a T. And then resist back in. Feel your ribs close. And then open out. Try to resist those ribs opening. And then close them as you bring your arms back in. Again, nothing going on with the lower body. You're just taking out some extra support that you would have if they were on the ground. 4 more like this. 3, 2. Last one. Good. And then lower your arms all the way down to the floor. And then curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Bring your legs to tabletop. From here, flip your palms up. Reach your arms long. You're going to extend your right leg as you bend in for a bicep curl. And then extend long as you bend them back in. Your legs back in. And then extend opposite leg. Alternating with the legs as you do a bicep curl through the upper body. Ribs are drawn up towards your shoulders. 4 more. 3. Trying to get those shoulder blades off the floor, ribs towards your hips. Reaching back through the back of your skull. Your chin is not resting on your chest, nor is your gaze up towards the ceiling. 1 more time to each side. Last one. And then bring everything all the way in. Drop your weights and gently rock back and forth from one side to the other. And then you are going to come over onto your right side, having your right arm underneath you, and your legs are going to be bent one on top of the other. From here, grab one of your weights, and you're going to bring your elbow to your hip. If you would like to lay all the way down on your side and do this fully side lying instead of in this little modified plank, go for that as well. From here, you're just going to press your arm up towards the ceiling, and then resist it back down. And press it up, and resist back down. You're pressing your right arm into the floor so that you're not sagging through that side. You can think about dragging your arm in towards your body. Head is nice and long. And press it up and resist down. 4 more. 3, 2, Last one, leave it lifted, and then lower it down in front of you, just in line with your chest, and then open it back up. It should still be in your periphery, so don't let it come back here. Lowering all the way down, resist it as it comes down, and then lifting it all the way back up and down. Think about the crown of your head reaching nice and long. Again, you can do this from full side lying if you'd like. This somehow almost feels harder today. And then resist back down and up. We have 3 more. 2. Last one. And then lower that arm all the way down. Have your weight come right back to where it was on your hip. And you're just going to internally rotate here and externally rotate. This you can come, actually everyone can come all the way down on their side for this one. Have your arm floating rather just above your hip. And then you're going to internally rotate, just bringing that arm to a 180-degree angle and then back up. And then lower it down and back up. 4 more. Think about your elbow staying nice and still, just really rotating through that shoulder. 2 more. And last one. And lower that weight all the way down, staying on your side here. You're going to lift your top leg up. You're going to bring it in toward your chest, and then you're going to press it back behind you, keeping that leg bent, opening up through the front of that hip. And then bring it in toward your chest. Bottom leg stays nice and heavy, and then press back like you're going to stamp your foot on a wall in front of you, but keep your foot flexed as you come forward. Bend that knee in. Think about length through the tailbone as you bend that leg in, so when you bend forward or bring your leg forward, you're still in a nice flat back. And back. And forward. And back. 2 more. Last one. Pause with your leg back behind you here. You're going to lower it down and lift. And lower and lift. Trying to keep a little bit of openness through the front of that hip, so you're pressing back through that foot as you lower and lift, almost like you're sliding your leg, or your foot rather, on a wall behind you for 3, 2, and last one. Lift it up, bring it forward, and then lower your leg down and lift it up and down and up for 6, 5, keep reaching long with that tailbone, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Externally rotate that leg, and then bring your right leg underneath you a little bit more. You're going to tap your heel down, and then lift it up. And tap your heel down in front of that right thigh, and lift it up for 5, 4, 3, keeping that leg nice and externally rotated from the femur, 2. Last one, bring it back to neutral, and then tap the knee down, and then tap the foot down. And tap the knee down and the foot, wherever it's comfortable to find that internal and external rotation, but think knee towards the floor and then foot towards the floor or your other leg, either one. 3 more. 2. And last one. And then roll over onto your back. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh, and then bring your legs in. Thread the needle here, grab behind that right thigh. Think about your tailbone being nice and heavy. Take a few deep breaths here. You can rock back and forth from one side to the other if that feels good. And you're going to plant your right foot. Keep thinking about externally rotating this left leg. You can bring your arms out wide to the side, or you can keep them wherever it's comfortable, and then let your feet fall over, or legs rather, fall over towards the right. Thinking about breathing into this left side, especially your glute and hip. And trying to find a little bit of extra length there. One more breath. And then come back up towards the top. Let your hips shake back and forth from one side to the other. Think about reaching through that left foot over towards the right and pulling back with that knee. Good, and then leave your legs here. You're going to grab onto your weight with your right hand, left hand behind your head, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, and then you're going to reach the weight over to the outside of your left thigh, and then bring it up. And then twist and rotate as you reach the arm over, and then bring it back to the center, keeping your torso lifted. So rotate that right rib towards your left hip as your arm reaches, and then come back to the center, and twist and rotate. Like always, you can get rid of your weight at any time if you'd like. For 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then lower all the way down, uncross your legs, and you're going to roll over onto your left side now. Bring that one weight with you. Starting off either in the modified plank position with your knees bent under or below you, or you can be all the way down on your side to start, your choice. Elbow comes near your side, and you're just going to press straight up and then resist back down. Press up, resist down. Trying to make that 1, 2, 3, however many pounds you have, nice and heavy, or maybe you have none. And try to make your arm as heavy as you can by really resisting as you open that elbow up and resisting as you break down. And up and down. 4 more. And then we're going to do that fly. 3, 2. Last one, leave that arm long. Resist to bring the arm down in front of you and then open up towards the ceiling. As you come forward, keeping your chest nice and stable, but the key is not pressing your chest forward and arching your back to bring your chest through your arm as you lift it. So really just focusing on moving that upper arm in the shoulder socket. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. And lower that arm all the way down. Come onto your side all the way down. Legs are stacked. Bringing this left arm back to that hip area. Or right arm rather. You're gonna leave it there. And you're gonna internally rotate, leaving the elbow nice and still in space, and then externally rotate back to that 90-degree position. Resist down, and then open back up. Your torso is nice and still, only that arm is moving. Exhale as you open up. Inhale down. Exhale as you open. 3 more. 2. And we're going to put the weight down. Last one. And then put the weight down. Lift up that top leg. And you're going to bring it in towards your chest, keeping that knee bent, foot flexed, and then press back like you're going to stamp your foot on a wall. Really open up through the front of that leg, or the hip rather, and then bring it forward. Keeping that tailbone nice and long, not rounding the spine as you bring the knee in, but also not arching the back as you bring it back. Press back. 5 more. Moving nice and slow and controlled. 2 more. And last one, you're going to pause with that leg back behind you as best you can. Tuck that tailbone under. You're going to tap down and lift, lower and lift, reaching through the front of the thigh, pressing back through that foot so you have a little bit of opposition here. And what you're thinking about trying to do, and up for 4, 3, 2, and last one. Lift that leg up, bring it forward. You can bring your front or your bottom leg rather a little bit more underneath you, and then you're going to tap down and lift, open, or rather close and open, keeping that foot flexed and down. Tailbone is still reaching nice and long. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And then you're going to tap your heel down and lift. Heel taps down and lift. And if your foot doesn't reach the floor, that is totally fine. Just thinking about that external rotation, lift and lower. You can think about your knee lifting and lowering, if that is a more useful visual for you. 2 more. Last one. Bring that leg up, rotate it to the center, bring it slightly back more underneath you, and then internally and externally rotate. So think femur rotating in your hip socket, tap it down, open as you tap the foot down, knee down, foot down. Your lower leg just sort of follows as you internally rotate and externally rotate for 3, 2, and last one. And then lower your leg all the way down, roll over onto your back, cross that right ankle over your left leg, and then reach your arms through, grab onto the back of that left leg. Woo. Take a few breaths here. You can gently rock back and forth from one side to the other if that feels good. Just find a spot where you're getting a nice stretch. Three more breaths. 2. Last one. Lower that leg all the way down. Let it slide back and forth from one side to the other. And then when you're ready, let your legs fall all the way over to the left, getting a nice stretch. Ooh, maybe even more into those hips. Try to keep your shoulders down. Take a few more deep breaths here. Good, and then come back to that figure 4 position. Bring your right hand behind your head. Grab onto your weight before it runs away with your left hand. Reach it up towards the ceiling. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. From here, you're going to reach your left arm over to the outside of that right leg. Twist and rotate, and resist to come back to the center. Twist and rotate, and back to the center. Keeping your weight nice and even in your hips. Think about that left rib going up and over towards the right hip. 5 more. You can always drop the weight too. 3, 2, and last one. And then lower all the way down, drop your weight, bring your feet a little wider than your mat or wider than your hips at the very least. And again, one last time, just doing this little windshield washer motion. You can pause with them over to the left and then up and over to the right. Pause with them over to the right. And then extend your legs long, reach your hands up towards the ceiling. Press your hands down as you lift your head, neck, and shoulders up. Tuck the tailbone under, draw the ribs up towards the hips, and then reach towards your feet as you round forward. Stack your spine all the way back up, and you are going to come onto all fours one last time. So from here, grab your weight in your left hand, and you're going to extend your left leg back behind you. If you'd like, you can bring your right foot out a little bit to the side so you're slightly internally rotated on that on the upper right leg. You're going to reach your arm up and open towards the ceiling here, and then you're going to resist back down, tapping it towards the floor, and you're going to open back up. Really think about getting your chest nice and square, your hips nice and square, and then you're going to rotate everything down towards the floor, and then open back up. Press that arm up towards the ceiling. And then lower it back down towards the floor, and open back up. And resist down. And up. 2 more. And last one, pause here. Reach that arm up towards the ceiling, lift that leg up, and then reach the arm overhead as you lower the leg, and then bend to tap in the front, and extend long, keep the leg lifted this time. Bend in, and extend, and bend. And extend, and bend. 3 more, not doing too many of these. 2, and last one. And then lower your arm all the way down as your foot comes to the floor, and then bring that knee underneath you. We are going to switch sides. So weight comes into your right hand, right leg back behind you, kickstand that left leg if you need, and then open out to the right side, hips open, hand is lifted, press the floor away. Resist as you twist back down. Adjust yourself as you need, rotating open, and then lowering back down. And open, and back down. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Lengthen or lift that right leg now. Reach the arm and leg overhead, and then bring them in front of you, elbow towards the knee, and then reach it long and bend in and extend and bend. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Overhead, reach it long, and then come all the way back around. You can put your weights out of the way. We're done with them. And then back to all fours. From here, extend your right leg back behind you, tuck the tailbone under gently. Think about lengthening through the front of the chest as you bring your left leg back to meet you, your right. And then lift the hips, bend the knees as much as you need. Get a little stretch in the back of your hamstrings here, and then send your weight forward into your plank. And then lift the hips up, lengthen the chest towards the floor, and then find your plank. And lift the hips. And back to your plank for 4. Up. 3, find that tuck of the tailbone, reach back through the heels. 2, last one. Lift your right leg up, bring that knee towards your left elbow, back behind you, right elbow. Back behind you, to the left, back, and right. 1 more time to the left, and back. Last time to the right, and back. Lift yourself up into a down dog split, so reach your right leg up, and then place your right leg back down on the mat. Take a second here in the down dog, and we will switch sides. Coming forward into your plank, lift that left leg up. Cross it over to the right elbow, and back, and left, and back. 2 more. Right, and back, left. Last time. And then reach it back up as you come into your down dog. Lower that leg all the way down. Come forward, find your plank. I'm going to come onto my knees. You're welcome to stay on your feet. And then you're going to bend your elbows back by your sides and press up for 8, 7, 6. Think about your chest reaching for a gentle tuck of your tailbone. 3. Use your exhale as you press up. 2. Last one. And then everyone can widen their knees and sit back onto your heels into a nice child's pose. I'm going to come around the other side. And then just take a second here, gently rock back and forth from one side to the other. Press your hands up so that you're in a lifted child's pose. Your chest is not on the ground. You're going to reach your left arm out to the side and then rotate it across your body. Grab onto the floor with that left hand and think about pressing into your left hand and your right to help rotate your chest open a little bit more to the right. And then take a nice big inhale and then just relax into it. Maybe getting a little stretch between your shoulder blade and your spine on that left side. And then come back up to the center, reach that right arm out to the side, and then thread it underneath. Walk those fingers out. Think about pressing into your right and left hand. Get yourself a little bit more rotation, and then just relax into it. No pressure in either hand, really. Taking a few breaths here. And then bring your hands forward. Round your spine as you come up into all fours, and then tuck your toes under. Walk your hands back by your feet, and then come into a low squat here. So if you can have your feet on the ground, that's great. If your heels can't be on the ground, no problem. Try to get as low as you comfortably can, and then just round forward over the backs of your legs. If you want to put a block underneath your butt or a pillow or something to give you a little bit more support, that's totally fine. But you're going to come into a little ball. Think about really rounding your back here, and then think about taking a nice big inhale. Excuse me. But expanding through your back. So instead of feeling your ribs or your abdominals really pressing into your legs too much, you want to think about opening up through the back in this little balloon position. And then exhale, release. One more time, inhale and exhale. And then bring your hands down onto the ground, lift your hips up, and then just shift your weight to find a nice supported forward fold here. Your knees can be totally bent like mine. That is more than okay. Grab onto opposite arm, opposite elbow, and then gently swing back and forth from one side to the other. And one side to the other. And then from here, let your head be heavy, your arms be heavy, and then very slowly roll all the way up, one vertebrae at a time, feeling your low back lengthen. Your feet and legs should feel like tree trunks underneath you, nice and strong. And let your shoulders lift and your head. And then bring your arms up overhead. Externally rotate them, press down, and let them find a spot by your sides. And you are all finished.